It's been 472 days since the coronavirus has hit the United States, 417 days since states started locking down, and over a century and a half since Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have faced discrimination in the United States, roughly 60,716 days. The recent rise in discrimination and hate crimes committed against Asian Americans since the start of the pandemic has shined a light upon these issues. Hate crime in America's major cities decreased by 6% from 2019 to 2020. Hate crime against Asian Americans increased by 145% between those years. I wanted to better understand how this spike in hate crimes has specifically impacted Asian American and Pacific Island-owned businesses in the DC area as they face both economic and social injustices amidst the pandemic. To do so, I first turned to Yoonhon Jung, owner of Valley Brook Tea Shop in DuPont Circle.
We opened on Valentine's Day last year. Then, in less than 2 weeks, as a new business I never existed in this country before, we made our rent here in DuPont Circle in 13 days.
Wow.
In our week 2, we got featured in the Washington Post. I think at least at the beginning, we were like on this trajectory, going up, both socially and financially.
Yeah.
And of course, everything shut down, so we lost the great momentum as a new business. In February, which is already the slow time in DC, Friday afternoon, like 4 to 6 p.m., this period of time when people get off work, we can have a couple hundred people passing our door in an hour. In July last year, the entire day, we had less than 40 people pass our door. To us, particularly us, it was different too because we are Chinese. Last year there were a lot of things targeting Asian Americans in general and Chinese in particular. We were actually attacked here multiple times. We call 911 2-3 times a week just because somebody is doing stupid things to us.
On the morning of November 10th, 2020, Yoonhon was attacked with pepper spray.
COVID-19, you got mask off. It's COVID-19.
When the attack happened, itself was only 40 seconds. And I was not processing it, I was only reacting. This type of hate crime is nothing new. It did not start last year. Right? It did not start with COVID-19.
I spoke with Jerry Aglipe of Small Business Majority to dissect the issue further.
That type of violence and hate speech has actually also impacted Asian American businesses. In fact, over a third of hate acts occur at businesses themselves. A lot of it starts with the messaging from the leaders because that's where it emanated from.
At all different names, Wuhan, Kung Flu, caught the Chinese flu.
I think we all dismissed it as that people were ignorant and such. Now we're seeing literally people's lives, people being killed, people being harmed, property being damaged out of that same hate.
It's really hard. I think that when we see these really heinous attacks, it's hard to feel like we're doing enough, to be honest. But I think one thing that I try to do is these bystander intervention trainings that we do in collaboration with Hollaback. What we say in those trainings is, whether it's small, whether it's a joke or a microaggression or, terms like China virus or Kung Flu, these are really small actions that contribute to an environment that allows for racism and discrimination to proliferate. So I think that's something that when I feel really helpless and when these things happen, I kind of turn to that and just look to ways that we can chip away at this.